What's up everybody, we're back with another story. This time Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is getting DLC in the form of a season pass, which is something a lot of people disliked about Breath of the Wild. It had something similar to where the season pass was announced just before the actual game released. A lot of fans loved the idea of more Zelda, a lot of the fans hated the idea of all of it not being released, but in that case at least the season pass or the DLC was DLC because it hadn't actually been finished yet. You were getting a new dungeon that wasn't on the disc or on the cartridge because it just wasn't completed. That's why they were taking the time until this winter to finish it. So I think that's why a lot of the confusion happened about the DLC for Breath of the Wild. But details on the season pass for Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is this the first time a Mario game other than Mario Kart has DLC? Do you guys know?
I think so.
Super Mario Bros. 2 had DLC.
Yeah, it has the hard levels.
So Jack, did you say Super Mario Bros. 2 had DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah? Did it?
Yeah, it had Street Pass DLC.
Am I missing a joke or?
Oh, you said new Super Mario Bros.
Oh.
That's what I meant, yeah, new Super
Mario
Bros.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
the NES game.
I thought you meant the NES game.
No.
I was like, was this some Japan exclusive thing I missed out on?
Well, Super Mario Bros. 2 was kind of odd anyways, because there was the Lost Levels, which was the real 2 in Japan.
And the port of the other game.
Which Nintendo thought was too hard for the American audience, so we got a completely different game, reskinned.
Have you played it? It is too hard.
Super Lost Levels?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why Japanese Mario Maker levels
It actually is way too hard. It is like so hard it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, I've played it, but I haven't really like put more than a few hours into it, so my experience is very limited.
You do.
Not Lost Levels. Doki Doki Planet, I think, which is what they converted into the American Super Mario Bros. 2. Was pretty fun. It's kind of odd seeing like the exact same game, except the American version has Mario characters.
Mario.
But anyways, moving on to the actual news. The news comes from, again, Go Nintendo. It says, today Ubisoft announced the post-launch plans for Mario plus Rabbids. Do you guys, is it Mario plus Rabbids or Mario cross Rabbids, Mario and Rabbids? I've heard
it's
it.
Mario X, I think. Mario times Rabbids.
Well, it has a plus symbol here.
It says plus on the...
Yeah, like
Mario, just say like Mario Rabbids.
Yeah, like I've heard it.
That's what I've been calling it too.
I've heard it a lot of different ways. It's kind of confusing. But anyways, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which will include new weapons, solo challenges, co-op maps, and a brand new story content. Season pass owners will be able to enjoy 3 pieces of DLC. 8 unique steampunk weapons will be available at the launch of the game, each one with its own statistics. These items will be exclusive for season pass owners. This autumn, players will be able to test their skills with new solo challenges or with a friend through additional co-op maps. In 2018, players will be able to play through brand new story content. The season pass will be available for Nintendo Switch on August 29th, 2017. Mario Cross Rabbids, Mario plus Rabbids, or whatever you want to call it, Kingdom Battle, is the story of an unexpected encounter between the most famous video game characters, Mario, and the irrelevant and they actually call irreverent. Okay, I thought they said irrelevant. Like I thought they were basically
irrelevant.
Yeah, I thought they were seriously calling their own themselves. Yeah.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Ubisoft.
Yeah, alright.
Irrelevant, that's hilarious.
And chaotic Rabbids as they join forces to restore the Mushroom Kingdom, which has been torn apart by a mysterious vortex. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle will be available exclusively for the Nintendo Switch August 29th, 2017. So that's like a little over a week away for those that are watching this. So it's cool. I like the idea of more story DLC because I can already tell I'm going to like this game. I was almost as excited for this as I am for the actual Mario Odyssey releasing later this year. DLC for it makes sense, especially knowing that Ubisoft is behind the game, because it seems like all of their games has a season pass or DLC. But what are you guys' thoughts on this? Do you think it's like a new pattern that Nintendo's starting to make? We've seen Mario Kart 8 with its DLC, Smash Brothers, Hyrule Warriors, Splatoon, yes, Splatoon 2. ARMS had the free DLC. Breath of the Wild, obviously. So it seems like more and more Nintendo games, like, they're finally catching up to what EA and Ubisoft and everybody else has been doing for like the past 10 years. So, do you think this is like a new thing to just expect for new Nintendo games? Like, could you go out on a limb and say that Mario Odyssey will most likely have DLC as well?
May I say something?
Yeah.
Because I feel like all those other games you listed off, Mario Kart, Smash, Hyrule Warriors, it felt like to me that that adding DLC made sense. Because with Mario Kart, new courses and new characters, that makes sense. Racing games do have DLC every now and again. Smash, of course there was going to be DLC. You can't, honestly, these days you can't imagine Smash 4 without Mewtwo or Lucas or even Cloud or Bayonetta. Honestly, those games, they made sense to have DLC. Breath of the Wild, I understand why they made DLC. Because they didn't have the time to put out the new story and the new dungeons. So they did make it DLC, which I am fine with. Mario and Rabbids, it almost feels like there really is no reason to do it other than just it's DLC. I feel like it wasn't Nintendo who made the decision to make it DLC. I feel like it was more Ubisoft's idea to make it DLC. I just feel like the DLC doesn't really make sense. And as for your question if Mario Odyssey will have DLC, I don't know. Nintendo are really big wild cards, so maybe they will do it, maybe they won't do it. But I feel like Mario and Rabbids doesn't really deserve DLC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could come out and be like an unexpected, amazing game. Right now, I think it's going to be a good game. I don't necessarily think it's going to be amazing in any way, but I'm still excited for it. It says we'll be getting single-player DLC weapons, new co-op maps, as well as story content, which I imagine is going to be the last piece of DLC that's releasing for it, similar to the story DLC being the last piece of Breath of the Wild DLC. But what are your thoughts on this, Jack?
Well, to be honest, I see DLC kind of like amiibos. Well, in my eyes, amiibos are kind of physical DLC. So obviously, I think it was 2015, 2014 is when Nintendo originally started rolling out the amiibos. Maybe other than that, I might be wrong. And as time went on, we saw more games adopting them. And I think they're going to do the same with DLC, in that it started off with the Switch, and now with the Switch, it's kind of like amiibos came in with the Wii U. I think that DLC is going to be something that comes in with the Switch, and it's going to be a standard in future Nintendo games. And I think that's good because it means that once you bought the game, it's not over. Stuff to look forward to. Like, I'm still playing Breath of the Wild, practicing, getting all the stuff, so that when Pack 2 comes out, I'll be really overpowered to play through the story. So I think it's a good reason not to put the game down, and I'm looking forward to seeing more DLC from them.
Yeah, alright. And finally, what are your thoughts on this, Daniel?
I'm cool with it. Like, honestly, I'm kind of a DLC whore. I just want more, I bought all the Smash DLC, I bought all the Mario Kart 8 DLC, I bought the Season Pass for Breath of the Wild. I've just, I'll give me more of the game. If some, I even, back in the day before there was DLCs, games would release expansion packs. I was all over those. I'm all for taking a great game and what you've already got and just putting more into it. So when people complain about Nintendo putting out DLC, I'm like, well, don't you want more from them? Don't you want them to give you more game? What's wrong with that?
Why complain about getting more?
Yeah,
it's optional. It's not like the game is incomplete before that, right? Like Breath of the Wild, you have a full game. You have a full amazing game already. That's complete. The DLC is just bonus. It's just extra, right? So it's not like they're cutting the game in half and selling you half for full price and then tacking on the price tag for DLC. Like it's just more extra.
Yeah.
So if
could I add
sorry.
something?
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Ashley?
I mean, going off what Daniel said, could you just stop, pause the video for 1 second? Can you imagine what Smash would be without its DLC characters? We all thought it was impossible to get Cloud in Smash. And yet, you guys say the DLC is bad. Look at what Square Enix and Nintendo gave you. Just pause the video and imagine it.
Yeah.
And you all say that DLC is completely bad. No. It is just no. No.
Well, I think
that's a good example. Smash was a finished game. You unlock all the characters, all the stages. The game's done. It's still a very full, complete game.
Yeah. Especially if you compare
just
it to
getting
the original,
more out of it.
8 characters.
Oh yeah, 8 characters,
or 10,
12, or I think it was 8 stages as well, and
it's kind of like ARMS. You see the future. You look at the first one, we're gonna be oh look, only 10 characters.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get way down the road when we're playing ARMS 4, and we're
look at the first one.
Look how silly the first one was. How small. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but what I like to use as an example is a DLC that never actually came out. Was Ocarina of Time had the Zelda Ura expansion, which was the expansion pack before DLC was actually DLC. But if you look at Ocarina of Time, it's a very complete game. There would have been new dungeons, more story, new weapons and everything, but not having that in the game doesn't really take away from what Ocarina of Time is. It's still one of the best rated games that's ever existed. And giving it that DLC would have just made it even better. So it's not taking away from anything by not having DLC, just like with Breath of the Wild. Just having the base Breath of the Wild game is more than enough than a lot of people will even 100%. So the fact that Nintendo's working on more, people are mad because maybe they don't have a lot of extra money to pay $60 for the game and then pay another $20 for the DLC. But with games that has substantial DLC, there's always eventually some sort of second version of the game to release, like the Game of the Year edition or a definitive edition that has all of the updates, all of the DLC included on the same disc or on the same cartridge.
Yeah, that's what I've been fantasizing as a Smash port. All of the stages and all of the characters, just you don't have to pay extra money to have them in the game.
Yeah, similar to
Deluxe, that kind of thing.
like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, exactly, where it's just everything from the original game. And I guess people like Daniel, who you said that you purchased Mario Kart 8 and all of the DLC, were you upset when you found out that, hey, here's everything for one price, you don't have to pay double the price for all of the DLC?
Yeah, I wasn't upset though, because it's a good game and I want to support the company that made it, so if more people are able to buy it, then that's good, right?
Right.
So, and I didn't buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because I was like, well, I don't need to buy it twice. Because I already have Mario Kart 8 with all the DLC, and I never really was into battle mode or popping balloons. So, for me, I don't feel like I've missed out, or my experience with the game has been detracted from having this deluxe version out, that other people can go and enjoy this game as well. There's no negative in my view.
Right. So I think we're all pretty much come to the same conclusion that the DLC isn't technically bad. Ashley made a good point that this game, Mario Rabbids, which we don't really know how the game is going to play or the length of the game. If it comes out and it's a really short game, only takes 5-6 hours to beat, and then you see there's DLC coming, then it will feel like, yes, this there was no point in the DLC. They just didn't have time to finish the game, so they released it early, and then they're releasing the actual end of the game as DLC. But Like, if you play it and there's a lot of stuff packed into it, then I think the DLC might be justifiable, especially if it turns out the DLC is really good. It doesn't seem like it's really adding any new features. Like, it talks about co-op maps and just like more levels, weapons, stuff like that. It doesn't really add in something very like drastic aside from the story content. Like, if you had to buy the DLC in order to have multiplayer or something, then I could see that being bad.
Stupid, yeah.
But
But also, like, if you're the kind of person that doesn't like DLC, you don't have to buy it.
right. Well, that's
Just
what I was
putting
saying.
that out there.
Is, like,
Right,
there's
yeah.
nothing really in this that would make someone who wasn't interested buy it. Like, if it was something like I mentioned where it was multiplayer, then I could see them being angry, because then it's like, oh well, for me to play this with my friend, I have to buy this update, which is something. There's a few games that did that. What was it, like Stay Alive did that? It was an indie game where it had an update or a second version that released where it was like Stay Alive Together or something. So
Don't Starve.
Yeah, Don't Starve, sorry. Jack knows what I'm talking
Stay
about.
alive.
Stay Alive. But yeah, like there has been games that do that, which is like really bad for DLC, but with Mario, Rabbids, it's alright, I guess.
Is it even multiplayer? I didn't know it was multiplayer.
I didn't know it was multiplayer
Actually, it
either,
makes-
but
Yeah, same, but it makes sense as a multiplayer game, like, just from what gameplay we've seen. Like, that looks like it'd be a really fun multiplayer game,
like,
actually.
Strategic against each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for the person who dreams about playing as the Rabid Peach, though. But anyways, moving on to the next story. What's up, everybody? Game Over Jesse here, and if you enjoyed this video and are into awesome, nerdy, geeky content like we are, consider subscribing to Geek Fuel, a monthly subscription box that is guaranteed to have over $50 worth of great stuff in every box. You'll receive an exclusive shirt, games, collectibles, and other geek-related greatness. Use the link geekfuel.com/GameOverJesse to not only get $3 off of your subscription, but to help out our channel as well, which means more time to work on more videos for you guys. If you enjoy the videos on my channel, please consider subscribing, checking out my second channel focusing on movies and TV shows, and my Patreon, where you can join in as a guest in upcoming videos, watch new videos first, you can have me join in and collaborate on videos for your own channel, have custom artwork or custom avatars made of yourself or for your channel, and much more.